Part A of LabVIEW Homework Assignment 2, we were supposed to create a sub-VI that calculates the mean of three inputs whenever a fourth mode select input is set to 0, and it calculates the root mean square of those same three inputs when the mode control input is set to 1. The way I implemented this was using a case structure. And outside the case structure, you can see that X1, X2, and X3 are controls. And then there's a fourth control that I named mode that is fed directly into the case selector so that it has a 0 and a 1 case. For the 0 case, it just sums the three inputs and then divides by 3 and then feeds that into an output. And for the 1 case of the case structure, it first squares each of the three inputs and then sums them, divides by 3, and then takes the square root output. For section B of the homework assignment, we were supposed to create three different functions, M1, M2, and M3. And then using those three functions, create a graph of each of them, and then also a graph of Y and Z, which are the mean of the three functions and the root mean square of the three functions. I implemented this using a while loop. And then for M1, the first function, it is sine of pi over 4 times t. So you can see here at the top, pi over 4 is calculated right here, and then that is multiplied by the loop iteration of the while loop, which acts as the t variable. And then that's fed in as the argument of the sine function here. And then that's fed over here directly into a graph. And then the M2 function is the cosine of pi over 11t. So the only difference here is that here is the calculation of pi over 11 instead of pi over 4. It still takes the loop iteration and multiplies that by this value, but then it's fed as the argument of a cosine function instead, which is then fed over here to another output graph. And then we just take M1 and M2 and multiply them together here to form M3, and then that's fed into a third graph. We then use the sub-VI previously made for part A of the assignment here and here with M1, M2, and M3 as the inputs. And then this first sub-VI here takes 0 as the fourth input for the control so that it calculates the mean. And then that's fed into the graph of Y over here. And then this second sub-VI takes 1 as its control input, and it's fed into the Z graph here at the bottom. Also, a weight block was added here with a control of 100 fed into it, just so that all of the sinusoidal graphs, when the code is run, don't go too fast. And if we run the code and then click view the instrument panel, you can see that M1 is here, here's M2, and then this is M3, which is multiplying M1 and M2 together. And then Y here is the mean of all three of these top graphs, and Z is the root mean square of all three of them.